Hello and welcome to what is likely the best video that you have clicked on today. There are many videos out there and you happen to stumble across this one, which is going to give you the best viewing experience of any other video that you could watch. And I appreciate you doing that. But if you aren't entirely convinced that this video is going to be as good as I say it is, do something that all of our regular viewers are already doing before they even hop on to watch. And that is grab yourself your favorite beverage and join me in a celebratory toast for another daily upload of Nathan Meal. I'll give you a chance to grab your beverage while everybody else waits on you. My favorite drink is coffee. Sometimes I have bone broth. One person said they had a nice glass of scotch while watching this. Whatever you pick is just all right. Enjoy me now for that toast. In 1, 2, and 3. This is to ensure that you have just as much pleasure enjoying this video as I do making the video in the first place. That way we can reciprocate with one another and have an equal viewing and creating experience. I am running on about 1.5 hours of sleep compared to what I should be having at this very moment. But not having a lot of sleep is not an excuse to go without eating. And so today we'll be making a simple, massive, singular meal of chicken egg fried rice. We're going to be adding a potato to add some additional calories today. For the last few months, I have been working a second job, which is a big reason why I started this channel in the first place. Although I've only been eating one meal a day on average, for the last couple of years, working a second job has kind of reinforced for me the idea of having simple, easily recreatable meals that you eat at one point throughout the day. If you're working a lot, having multiple meals throughout the day, relying on meal prepping, especially if you're a single person where you don't have somebody else that can make meals for you, especially if your schedule changes like mine does. The job I work for recently changed my schedule up, which is why I'm running on very little sleep. It can oftentimes become difficult to get into a consistent schedule. Sometimes you'll be tempted to just eat fast food that's out and about because it's easy and convenient for you to do so, but you know that's not the right decision to make because you feel so lethargic after eating it. This meal, although it is not the most creative meal, checks all the boxes for me. It is simple, it's easy, it's repeatable, it is delicious. I enjoy making it and I enjoy eating it. And since making the channel, I've had the opportunity to try different variations, which has led me to the meal we're going to present you today. So if you are new to the channel, bacon is always very nice. Now, is bacon going to be incorporated into my egg fried rice? No, that would not be good. That is a weird flavor profile combination to be adding the chicken and the bacon together. But bacon is kind of a guilty pleasure of mine. It's a nice little treat. And I don't like using cooking oils in most of the foods that I make. So adding a bit of bacon to the pan to start out every cooking experience leaves nice sizzling high smoke point oil/fat in the base of the pan to cook the rest of my vegetables in, which is going to be the potatoes and the onions. If I can find a lid for this real quick so I can make less of a mess, that would be fantastic. But unfortunately, I find myself slightly disorganized. If you are new, I utilize rotisserie chicken often. I shred it. I put it in a pile here. I cut it into smaller pieces if necessary. And I utilize the carcass to make into bone broth, which if you decide to continue to watch the channel, hit the subscribe button and the bell, you will see me make bone broth this weekend. Or if you don't want to wait that long, you can just scroll back to some of my previous videos that I have made in weeks past. And you will find my bone broth recipes there. You will also see what we do with the bone broth outside of just drinking it on its own, which is an incredibly amazing thing to do. It's very flavorful, it's very delicious, and it's very good for you. We also made a chicken and dumplings that resembled my grandmother's recipe, and I have to say it was fantastic. A couple of notes though, after we did it the way Grandma says is best, I have to admit some additional vegetables would have been nice. And so I have a feeling that in the not so distant future, we will try our hand at chicken and dumplings yet again. Today, however, we don't have time to be creative. I just finished up my first job, and then I have a few more hours until my next job. And when my next job ends, my first job shift starts immediately after that. So I need to eat this food and then get off to bed so I can maximize my sleep. One day of being sleep deprived is okay, but chaining that into 2 days of sleep deprivation is just a disaster waiting to happen. So we will finish prepping our vegetables here. As a general rule, cutting vegetables and meat on the same cutting board is a big no-no. But if you are going to do so and you're doing it at home, start with the vegetables first and then move on to the meat. Never start with the meat and then go on to the vegetables. That's how you can get sick. Now, to be fair, this rotisserie chicken is cooked, but I'm not always trustworthy that it's been cooked, all the way through. So I'm going to start with these vegetables and cut these vegetables. Then I will move on to the chicken and cut the chicken. And then I will not bring my knife back to the vegetables. I will immediately bring the knife to wash. That way we can reduce any sort of potential cross-contamination. I'm only doing this because I'm able to do it in the comfort of my own home. If I had worked in a professional setting or some sort of commercial setting cooking for other people, I would never do this. I would keep my knives, my vegetables, and my meats completely separate. I like potato skins, so I'm going to keep the potato skins on. But for a trout meal that we made, we tried it without the skins, and it cooked up very nicely. We also fried these potatoes up in a different way. We didn't dice them. We cut them up in saucer shapes. But for this recipe, we're going for a very simple pile of egg fried rice with potatoes and onions and chicken. And this is going to turn out to an excellent large meal that would typically feed 2 or 3 people. In my case, I'm going to enjoy consuming it all on my own. And since I only eat 1 meal a day, I will thoroughly enjoy every ounce of it. Eat while you can. Eat while you can. So we're almost done with this. These are all now thoroughly diced. We'll keep that separate. I'm going to check up on the bacon now, which has rendered extremely well. Give these strips a flip. I really like these bacon end pieces. You can get 3 pounds of them for about $10 where I live. And even though they're called end pieces or bits, you oftentimes get strips of bacon that are much thicker than even the thick cut bacon that you would traditionally get at the store. Oh. You know when your coffee reaches that optimal temperature? It gives you that perfect feeling. It's a great feeling to have, but there's also a negative connotation to it, which is it's going to continue to lose heat, and every following sip that you take is going to be colder and colder and colder. And in my opinion, there's nothing good about cold coffee unless you get it from the store, of course. Nothing worse than having a nice warm pot of coffee go cold on you. So we're going to take this chicken. I've given myself a nice liberal portion of chicken here. I'm confident that I will be consuming all of the food that is here in one sitting before I head off to work, but if I don't, and I have to leave some leftovers, that is more than fine. Having some food that's already ready for me when I get home is more than welcome. So this chicken is more or less already seasoned, so I'm not too worried about this, but once we get the rice together, I like adding a little bit of salt, a little bit of soy sauce. You know, I might go without the salt because the soy sauce has a lot of salt contact, but I will add some pepper. So that looks like a good quantity right there. Oh, and for those of you that reminded me, see, most people have already clicked off the video right now. For you special people, you always get something really special about halfway through the video. I got more Brillo pads, and it's all thanks to you in the comments reminding me to get those Brillo pads. So this, our final Brillo pad, which has seen better days. The next coming days we will be replacing these. So thank you very much for reminding me. I went to the store after my shift this morning, and I picked them up, and I was thinking of you when I did it. Okay. I have a feeling that we're going to need a mega bowl for this food. A mega bowl indeed. So let us grab a mega bowl. This bacon is good. It is still bendy. It has a nice char on it. Well rendered down as always. It checks all the boxes. The other day I cooked for the first time with a pan that was already dirty, but as you can see, the reason why it was dirty is because there's already some bacon that had been cooked in there. So if you remember that previous video from just a couple of days ago, the pan looked very similar to the way it looks right now. So, I've kind of given myself a bit of a challenge here, putting all of this on a single cutting board. I will need this for when the rice is done so I don't burn my hand like last time. Ooh. Sound. Seems like on every video I get a comment where people say that they appreciate, you know, the low budget, straightforward, genuine style content that I produce. And they mean it authentically. They don't mean it that it's low effort or lazy. They mean that it's very simple and straightforward, and you know, oftentimes they feel like they're right there with me, which is kind of the intention of making these types of videos. But I have considered what it would be like if I upgraded my mic setup a little bit so that you could hear me better, just the overall quality of the video can improve. I have experimented with some of these other mic setups. My roommate has a couple of different mics, and what I found is if I use those mics, it doesn't pick up a lot of the ambient sound, like the sizzling of the pan or the rice bubbling over behind me. And I would have to take, directional edits and shots of getting the microphone close in order for you to hear all of those things. And I don't think you guys would like that. So for the time being, we're going to keep the format exactly the same way that it is right now. I know that you've seen me put in a couple of edits and a couple of cuts from time to time to give context as to why certain things happen, i.e. my roommate and the one drink when he hijacked my camera. So I'll continue to find organic and natural ways to kind of modify the format as the channel continues to grow. By the way, we are extremely close to hitting 100 subscribers. It seems like only a couple of days ago I was saying that we were right on the cusp of hitting 100 subscribers by the end of the year, right on track. And we are extremely close to hitting that 100 subscriber goal. So I think we're only a couple of subscriptions away from hitting that. If any of you are new viewers and you've watched through this point so far, just consider hitting that subscribe button, because the whole point that I put this channel together was because my roommate challenged me to get 100 subscribers before the end of the year. And accomplishing that would be, I would be extremely grateful to you guys, and it would be awesome to be able to accomplish that, to be able to show my roommate that that's what we've been able to do. It would be good for everybody, is what I'm trying to say. And if you got yourself a drink and enjoyed it with me at the beginning of this video, then we can both get equal enjoyment out of that 100 subscriber milestone, because that means that you, my special viewers, are part of the elite core group that were here before anybody else. And that's something to be proud of. I have some special ideas for the coming months of 2025, and I'd really like to share those with you. So don't go anywhere, because February and March are going to be really awesome months. Just believe me there. A little bacon snack in the middle of cooking is always nice. Potatoes are cooking up well. We need them to get a little bit softer before we add the onions. And then once we finish that up, we will add the chicken, because once again, the chicken should be cooked all the way, but I don't trust it. So we'll put it in last, just to give it a little bit of extra char before we add the eggs and then the rice. It's going to go in great. Give me a second. I just had a call I need to get to, so I will see you in a few minutes. Alright, well, sorry to keep you waiting. I usually never cut the video that early on and then not show you the entire process of how we got to here. But I had a very important call that I needed to take, and I can't uncook my food. So I've put the food here, and I've even chowed down on it a little bit. And with the fork in, we are here at exactly 2 pounds of food, which is not too bad. So I appreciate all of you guys for watching. Thank you again for subscribing, and I will see you all tomorrow. Thank you.